Welcome to the Creative Differences Podcast. I am Gabby.
I am Dallas.
And it's me, Demi. I'm once again taking Colin's place because he abandoned us.
He sure did.
Colin, where are you?
Which makes me sad because I really wanted to hear his thoughts on this movie more than anybody else's.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yo, me too.
Because I can't tell if he would like it or hate it.
I was watching it
Colin
and I was like,
like
I wish Colin was here.
It's not like when I tell you guys, hey, watch Terminator. I know Colin's going to hate it. But with Charlie's Angels, I'm like, that's what we're talking about today, guys. We're talking about Charlie's Angels from 2001.
2000.
2000.
Yes.
Sorry.
19 years ago. Goodness freaking gracious.
Yep, a long time ago.
Welcome to Throwback Thursday, guys.
Throwback Thursday.
So let's get it popping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Demi,
Yeah,
you like these movies.
I do.
Do you remember your first time watching this movie?
I just remember I was a kid.
That makes sense. You were like 8.
I don't remember. I don't know if it was immediately after the movies came out.
Never mind.
I think it might have been after the second movie came out after that, as a matter of fact. So I might have been like 11 or 12. But I remember watching them as a kid and loving these movies.
Having some sort of awakening. I'm just kidding.
Nah, I don't think that was it. But I definitely loved watching these movies. I don't know. Something about, I mean, as a kid, there weren't a lot of, like, I think I managed to find a lot of media where there were women who were kicking butt.
Yeah.
Because I was into Power Rangers and I was into Xena and stuff like that. But Charlie's Angels, I think it was movies in general that like it was way less representation of women who were competent and able to kick somebody's ass.
Yep.
So I think that might have been like the leading factor in me being into these movies. Plus they were just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of awakening were you talking about?
The sexual kind.
I figured. Do you remember your first time watching this movie?
No, because I saw it when I was really young.
Fair.
I was like between 8 and 10 years old when I saw it. I don't remember, but I do remember Lucy Liu in this movie.
Who could forget Lucy Liu in this movie?
Dallas, when was your first time watching this movie?
Turns out a couple hours ago.
Really?
I just realized I've never seen this movie before.
What?
I saw Full Throttle in theaters for some reason. I don't remember who I was
Because it
with.
looked awesome.
Full Throttle was cool.
Full Throttle, like, look, I was like, damn.
I was an 11-year-old boy. I didn't care. I don't remember who I saw it with.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Like, who took you to
I
see
saw
it?
Full Throttle. No. I saw Full Throttle. And then I guess in my head, I'd always just lump the movies together.
No.
I'd never seen this movie before.
Yeah.
I just saw it a couple hours ago. So yeah, today's my first time watching it all the way through. And to be honest, I don't remember Full Throttle either. So like if I watched it, it would be like the first time I watched that.
Fair.
Like Cameron Diaz says, like a virgin, my first time. Never done it before. This movie's full of little gems like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what this movie is built on.
It was made by a man.
Did you like it, Dallas?
No. I went into I was watching the movie and I was like, there's certain parts and I was like, oh no, this is gonna be trash. But then like something else happened and I was like, oh wait, this movie knows what it is.
Yes.
So it's not gonna be trash, it's gonna be Baywatch.
Yes.
So I was like,
yes.
oh, it's Baywatch, but with Charlie's Angels. I was like, okay, we're just gonna take the old TV show and then just be goofy as hell about it. At that point, I'm just like, okay, cool, just be funny then. To me, I think I'm gonna compare it to Baywatch a lot, but Baywatch was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Probably because it was so ridiculous and like the way that they did it, and because Zac Efron and The Rock are just really, really funny to me.
Yep.
And this movie didn't hit that level of comedy most of the time, and that's why I didn't like it so much, because I was like, at a certain point, I'm just like, all right, cool, I'm just going in to laugh because they know what it is. They're being ridiculous. Yeah. Then most of the time, I was just like, oh my god. But a lot of it is definitely a sign of the times, and we can get to that as we go on.
Oh
This
yeah.
movie is the most early 2000s movie.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Down to the soundtrack and the cast in some places.
Mm-hmm. In all places.
So this, So the story.
Oh yeah, that.
It gets a little convoluted.
Not really. It's a very. It's a simple story. It's about these 3 women who work for a secret organization, and they get their missions from a guy named Charlie who they've never seen. They get a job to recover this man who has been kidnapped, and things go from there. And turns out the guy's not actually kidnapped. He had himself kidnapped because he's out to kill Charlie.
Yeah.
Yes, in case you're wondering, we are doing spoilers because the movie is 19 years old.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, you don't care.
Too bad.
If you wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now.
Yep.
Definitely. So yeah, that's the story.
Yep.
It's a very it's a very simple story. It's got its plot twist, which is this guy is actually the bad guy. He's
Yep.
not the person that we should be helping. But, you know, as a kid, I really liked this movie.
Yeah, me too.
I'm now older and like, bruh.
But okay, here's the thing.
I still like this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm older and I'm able to pull out some stuff that I'm like, whew, no, that's not a good thing.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I feel like we were so starved for like kick-ass female.
We still are.
We
people.
still are. That like we just latched onto it as kids because you're just like, yeah, they could do karate. But then now that you're watching it, you're like, this movie was clearly made by men.
It was, well, here's the thing though. I will give it this, and this is going to be moving over to more of the character side of things, less so than the story. The story is just really simple.
It's very straightforward.
It's a simple story, whatever. It's solid. You can follow it easily if you're paying attention. The characters are all very competent at what they do, which is what I appreciate. I love Alex, Nat, and Dylan because, and also they are 3 very different women, which the opening of this movie makes very clear.
Yes.
Dylan is very much, I guess you'd call her like the punk one. She's, you know, she's
Rough
the hot
around
mess.
the edges.
She's rough around the edges. She's a hot mess. She was also my favorite Angel when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she's the coolest. I want to be like her, except now I'm older. I'm like, I still want to be like you, but you have horrible taste in everyone. But like, the movies have always commented on the fact that Dylan had horrible taste in people. Like, you knew it was the bad guy if Dylan was attracted to them.
Yep. Which they made a joke
In the second movie. Yeah.
She's like,
But
and they were like, Dylan.
Yeah. Alex couldn't cook, but Alex could kick your ass.
Yep.
Alex was really cool and really good at the, you know, they were all really good at being undercover and in disguise. And Nat was really, really smart, but also really socially awkward.
Yep.
Which was weird.
Now, when's the character played by Cameron Diaz?
Yeah. And I appreciated the characters in this movie. What I do not appreciate is the male lens that we're staring at them through.
The male gaze is almost distracting, or it was almost distracting when I was watching it this time. I was like, I don't remember the movie being this bad.
I don't remember this movie
but
being
I was
so
also
sexed up.
a kid. Yeah, it was like
the scene of Dylan in the race car and
Yeah.
she undoes her suit.
and she like licks the steering wheel and like
That was weird. I
okay,
was like,
but you could take it one of 2 ways. You could take it as these badass women understand how to exploit and manipulate men. They were just doing the quickest, fastest way.
Yeah, you use your sexuality against
to
these
just
men.
really, really just mess with them. And the most blatant. But like, I feel like
There's a line.
there's
and you crossed it.
Or I don't know if there's a line, but there's a way to do that where you can see that they're exploiting that without it feeling like you're also exploiting the actors. And I feel like the movie did that. It definitely exploited the actors.
Yeah. But I really liked the cast of characters. I love Nat, Dylan, and Alex. That's why I love the Charlie's Angels movies. I love them.
I like Alex. She's dope.
Alex is dope. And I forgot that Matt LeBlanc plays her boyfriend in
Right?
this movie.
I
Yo,
forgot too.
I want to talk about this for a second because
This cast is crazy.
Yeah, it's so random.
like the biggest plot twist for me was how many people were in this movie that I didn't realize were in it.
Yeah.
Because one, I realized I've never seen this movie. But when freaking Bill Murray showed up, I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to like this movie. And then Tim Curry's in it. Luke Wilson is in it. Sam Rockwell's in it. Melissa McCarthy pops up in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like Matt LeBlanc shows up playing his character from Friends.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, it's
Oh,
Joey.
but less of a
I think
womanizer.
I
and
think
smarter.
he's Matt LeBlanc in this movie. Like that's who
like,
he is.
he's like playing an actor
And
who
also-
talks exactly like Joey.
Yeah, who's
Also,
Joey.
LL Cool J's quick cameo.
Yeah,
at the beginning of this
it was
film.
That
like-
was so weird.
This movie had so many people in it, and as rewatching it, I was like, I don't remember this person being in it, but that's the thing that was happening. Okay, cool, all right, well, here we are, and like more people. When Luke Wilson popped up, I was like, bruh.
I was like, Luke Wilson's
Yeah.
in this movie.
I was like, bruh, I don't even remember you being
See,
in this.
I remember it being like having a cast of the early 2000s. I just didn't realize that so many people had remained so relevant.
Tom Green is in it.
And here's
too.
the thing, that's a good transition because who hasn't remained relevant? Tom Green's in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's how you know it came out in 2000.
Yep.
Because he is like in one of the first scenes. And
The Chad.
fun fact, he won an award for most unfunny comic relief. I see why. And I was just like, is that Tom Green? I had to pull my phone out and look
Yeah.
at it was Tom Green. And so I was like,
Yep.
oh my God, Tom Green.
He was Drew
I think he
Barrymore's
was-
boyfriend at the
no,
time.
husband.
No, I think that
They
was
got
they were
married
just
a year
dating.
after or
yeah.
something.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just dating at that time.
I think that's why he got that part.
But
That was wild.
yeah, that's a God. That
she was the
movie just
producer.
had so many people in it.
Yep.
And like, I love the cast, and the characters are. Crispin Glover playing the really weird thin man.
Oh.
So I want to talk about that because
Creepy thin man.
And Sam
whenever I
Rockwell.
talk about like hating a character,
Yes.
A lot of times people are like, well, you're supposed to hate the character. And it's like, there's a difference between me hating a character because I'm supposed to and me just hating that a character exists. Because it's just like, sometimes there are characters you love to hate. I hate Negan from The Walking Dead, but I don't think he's a bad character.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that Crispin Glover's character in this movie
Exists.
I hate that they wrote this character.
Now that I'm older,
I hate that they filmed him.
Now that I'm older, I also hate
I just
this
look
character.
at him and I'm just like,
Yeah, I didn't like him.
and then it made me think like,
why is he here?
have I ever seen Crispin Glover not creepy or just like, not just like
Creepy.
Weird.
off-putting in some way? And I was like, I don't know
I was
if I
about
have.
to say he's
So
not
maybe that's just
creepy
him.
in Back to the Future. He's just weird.
Yeah,
Oh, right,
off-putting.
right. Yeah. He's not creepy in that.
He's off-putting.
He's just socially awkward.
Yeah.
I just want him to get a different role.
You want him to be like a nice man.
That's it. Like the characters. I think that's why you keep coming back to these movies. The characters, and if you find it funny, because
Yeah.
occasionally I do find it funny.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly, every time Bill Murray said or did anything, I was laughing. And this reminds me of Zombieland when Emma Stone is like, he just gets me. Like, and it was like, literally every time he would do anything, I was like, oh my God, I feel like Emma Stone in Zombieland. Because regardless of what he's doing, I'm going to laugh. Like, Bill Murray is
I
that dude.
forgot that he was in this movie because I think I remember Bernie Mac in the second
too.
movie.
Yeah.
And I forgot that Bill Murray was the first Bosley.
Mm-hmm.
He probably didn't come back because apparently he kept getting into fights with people on the set.
Oh no.
Bill Murray. No.
He and Lucy Liu apparently got into a physical altercation.
A physical one?
Apparently he also got into a physical altercation with the director says they got into a physical altercation. Bill Murray says that didn't happen.
Wait, that he got into an altercation with the director?
Yes.
I want to talk about the director for a second.
Mick
Yeah.
G.
Mick G.
He produces a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, so he has a lot to do with Supernatural, which, like, I made it through more of that show than I expected to.
He produced Shadowhunters, which I was a fan of.
Mm-hmm. He also directed Rim of the World.
Oh.
Easily my least favorite movie in a very long time.
Of this year.
Yeah. He made Terminator Salvation, which is the one a lot of people don't like.
I think I liked that one.
So he's just not a
but
good
I
director.
don't
That was number
remember
four,
but I
I wanna
don't
say.
remember it.
Yeah. And the thing about Rim of the World is when I was watching that, I was like, this director has never met a black person.
Now you know he hasn't.
Yeah, so I watched this movie, and the Soul Train scene,
Yes.
Oh.
I was like, nah, bro, don't do that. Because, like, everything about it just felt weird and out of place.
I think that
Like,
might have been
from
the point, though.
And, like, the whole thing of, like, her being on stage dancing to that song.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
that's
supposed
supposed
to
to feel weird and out of place. And then I'm looking, like, all of these, like, disgruntled-looking black people looking at Cameron Diaz dancing. And then it made me realize there are no black characters in this movie.
Oh, no.
Because LL Cool J has a scene in the beginning. Turns out it's not him.
It is
It's
Drew Barrymore.
a white woman dressed as him. And I was like, I don't think Mick G should ever say anything about black people in any movies ever. Because, like, he doesn't have, I don't know, maybe he does now. No, he doesn't, because Remember the World came out this year. But it's just like, and you know, in the year 2000, you didn't have to have that certain cultural awareness.
Oh, no,
that
because
you
it
should
was
have now.
2000s.
But like, he dresses these white women in just about every ethnic outfit you can find.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like the massage parlor, they dress as geishas, and
Yeah.
then they go to like the belly dancing place, and I'm like,
Yep.
And then there's the scene of them in the, what are they, like Dutch or?
Yep.
they're like
they're
Dutch or
German.
German, which like,
Yeah.
you know, they're white, fine, you can have
Yeah,
that.
fine.
But
Yeah.
it's just like, I get, it's like, you know, a montage, they're gonna dress up in different outfits, but I'm just
Yep.
like, man, this stuff doesn't sit, it didn't age
No,
well.
it didn't age
No,
well.
Didn't
this
age
movie
well.
hasn't aged
No,
well
it
at
has
all.
not.
And it's just like, because like, as far as like the, like, you know, straight male lens thing,
Yeah.
I'm a straight male, so, you know, it's targeting to me, so whatever. But the, like, I think the racial thing
That hits
bothered
you
me
harder,
more
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm just like, who?
Well, that's
white
just something
people?
you have more of an eye. I think me and you, I think all three of us have more of an eye for that. Me and Gabby always have more of an eye for the male lens.
No, I have an
because-
eye for the male lens. I always see it.
Yeah.
I just don't care because I'm straight. and I'm a
Because
male.
it's for you.
Yeah, it's for
exactly.
you.
It's like
Like this.
you see a shot of Chris Evans with his shirt off gratuitously for no reason, and you don't care because it's for you.
Yep.
Like
It's
I see a
definitely
shot
for
of
me.
Lucy Liu dressed as a dominatrix
that
for
was
no
for
reason.
all of us.
Okay.
Was it?
Demi. Was it? Demi, look at me. It was for all of us.
Okay. Last thing I want to say on the character front, though, is,
Yes.
and I was talking about this with you guys earlier, Sam Rockwell
Oh yeah.
as the villain. I love Sam Rockwell in this movie, and I did as a kid, and it was always for the one scene where after we find out he's the bad guy.
yeah.
Actually, it's two scenes. When it's revealed that he's the bad guy, and like he goes over, it's that one long shot, which is really great, by the way. And he goes over and he plays the music, and he's, 'cause I want your
Oh yeah.
What?
and like,
Because he's Sam Rockwell at that
yeah.
point.
And so, but like he's just grooving to the music. He's like lights his cigarette. Like he's so like
Cool.
smooth. And
I
he's
was kind of
so
shredded in
cool.
this movie.
He is, yeah.
Like, He's like the wife beater on.
Yeah.
And then he's like lighting a cigarette. I'm like, okay, Sam, I see you out there.
But, like, he's so cool in this movie. And then later on, when like he puts in the disc for them
oh,
to.
yes. Simon Says.
Yeah, he's just doing the thing. He's waiting for the data to transfer, and the music starts.
Dancing.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh my
and
God, I love that song.
His footwork is so smooth, and like I'm just like, and his spin is so smooth. I'm like,
Yeah.
Sam, why is Sam Rockwell so good at dancing? And then later on in the credits, when they're doing like the bloopers, and when his name pops up for the credits, he does the splits, and I'm just like, bruh, Sam Rockwell.
Was that actually him doing this?
Yes, that's
too,
actually
which is
him.
Wild.
Sam Rockwell in this movie? It has so much flair.
Also, when they revealed as a kid, I was super attracted to Sam Rockwell's character, and then they revealed that he was the villain, and I was like, as a child, I was like, wait, do I have bad taste in men?
Am I Dylan?
Am I Dylan? It was like, and what we learned is,
Yes, you are.
Oh boy. And it's funny because like watching it now, like now I know Sam Rockwell.
Yeah,
And I know the
me
kind of
too.
actor he is and everything like that. But like,
He's really good in Jojo Rabbit, by the way.
oh yeah,
I figured he
he's
would be.
fantastic in that.
And it's like he showed up in this movie, but like, you know, playing the fake version of himself. And I was just like, yo, this is a waste of Sam Rockwell. Like he's so like he's nice, he's friendly, but he's so boring. And I'm like, I need Sam Rockwell to be Sam Rockwell. Like, when are you gonna let him be great? And then they reveal that he's the bad guy, and for the rest of the movie, he's Sam Rockwell. I was like, oh, okay, cool. We got what we needed. So I was like, why did they have him play this
Like nerd.
whack ass role? But I was like, oh, okay, cool. I see what you're doing.
Oh man, yeah, God, it's so good. This movie did not age well, but there were things about this movie that I'm like, I love this, I love this, and I love this.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it really didn't age well.
Any visuals or sound that stuck out to either of you guys?
Yes. So
The Dominatrix? No.
I was gonna
oh yeah,
say that.
definitely. That's the reason I watched the movie. But I think the first thing that made me realize like, oh, it's Baywatch, is when I think it's Lucy Liu. She like flips her hair or something like that, and it does it in slow motion. And later on, Cameron Diaz does it, and there's a gong playing in the background. It's just like,
that was when they were at the party, and she's like, flip your hair.
Yeah.
Flip your goddamn
and
hair.
she does it, and it's like, bong, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad that wasn't Lucy Liu. But I was like, okay, cool. So like little visual cues was like, oh, okay, this is a parody movie.
Yes.
And then the first fight they have with the Thin Man, and most of the fights after that, to be honest, it reminded me of the old Power Rangers movie from like the
Yes.
90s. And I was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I love
Because they
this.
were on like strings and they were fighting.
would do
like,
these kicks that they would always do in Power Rangers, where you would jump across this huge space and kick your feet the entire time you're going
Yeah.
across
Yep.
until you get to the other person.
Yeah, it was just like
And I'm
this,
just like,
it was just ridiculous.
this is so Power Rangers. I love it.
that was one of the things I noticed. Too. These action sequences are so ridiculous, and it's obvious that they were like, no, we want these to be the most ridiculous fight sequences. Also, another thing about them, none of the angels use guns in these movies.
yeah.
Interesting.
Because Drew Barrymore has a thing against guns, so she didn't want any of the girls to use guns in this movie, and she bought the rights to the movies like right before they started filming.
Wow.
So yeah, she bought the rights right before filming, and I think she made $40 million off of this one and $80 million off the second one
Yep.
because she owned the rights.
Flower film.
So she's a producer on these films.
Yeah, she's been a producer for a while.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. But yeah, these fight sequences are like crazy, especially when you get to the end, the final
yeah.
fight
There's a lot
sequences.
going on.
I do love Drew Barrymore's chair sequence when she's sitting
was
in the
interesting.
chair and she's trying to like use her lighter to light the
And she's
her
so
restraints,
angry.
and she can't do it, and she's like, all right, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
And
do
then
this.
I'm
I'm gonna do it with and didn't moonwalk for the record.
I was so disappointed.
I was
I was
too.
like, when she said, I was like, can she moonwalk? And then she didn't moonwalk, and I was like, that was a
That-
cute walkout, but it
But
wasn't a
that's-
moonwalk.
that's not a moonwalk.
It wasn't what you said. It wasn't what you said you would give us.
You were like, I'm
disappointed.
mad.
I'm let down.
Let down.
Going back to the fight sequences, I was reading about this movie, and apparently, it's gonna sound random, but it's not. Guillermo del Toro, when he was making Blade 2,
Okay.
he talked about movies like this and like the Wire style of fighting,
Yeah.
and how like they kind of served as a nail in the coffin because people watched it and they were like, we gotta make our fight scenes look better. Like they gotta look more real.
Yeah.
Because it was like you watch it and he said like, yeah, this is a great movie, but when you watch Cameron Diaz like fly across the room and kick 5 dudes like on a wire, it's just like, we gotta do something else.
Although I do, John August is one of the writers on this movie, and he has a website where he gives writing tips.
Nice.
And one of them is like how to write fight scenes. And so I've seen his advice. I've seen like the fight scene that he wrote. I think Dylan is fighting the Thin Man in the second movie. So that's really cool. John August is really great. He also
wrote the new Aladdin movie.
Yeah, he did. I was about to say he wrote the new Aladdin movie.
Whenever we do one of these Throwback Thursdays, I look at the people who like made the movies, and I am conflicted The Boulders Conflicted about John August, because I liked the new Aladdin.
Yes.
Big Fish, I watched a long time ago.
I love
remember
Big
liking
Fish.
it, but not why, because it was so long ago.
Big Fish is such a great film.
But he wrote the Charlie and Chocolate Factory movie that I hate, which is the one with Johnny Depp.
I like
Super
that
creepy.
one.
And I like that one because it's the closest to the source material.
Yeah, I don't
It's
love it,
basically
but
the
I
book.
like it.
I hated it so much. So I was like, okay, you are like hit and miss to me. Kind of like Mick G.
It's
like Mick G
it's
is
how
hit
you
and miss to me.
you feel about him the way I feel about Chris Weitz, who wrote New Moon, but he also
That's my
wrote
favorite
the
Twilight
live
movie.
action Cinderella that I absolutely adore. So
Writers be
And ironically,
fluctuating.
I don't like that Cinderella, but I do like New Moon.
That's really funny.
get out.
It was too corny.
We disagree.
corny.
Gabby,
Never mind.
what did you like about any visuals or sound things that you?
Just Lucy Liu.
Just Lucy
She
Liu.
is a visual.
I'm just kidding. She was a visual.
She is a visual.
She is a visual.
Oh God, I had so many feelings about her as a kid.
Yo, same.
All right then, we're learning
I
a
was
lot
like,
today.
I want to
Like-
be like her.
I had different feelings. Did you have any other thoughts about the visuals? It's just Lucy Liu, which is fine.
It's all I can think about right now.
That's fair.
Great.
I was like, I want to be as smart as she is, and as like, she just commanded that room, and I was like, that's.
But I hope you also want to be able to bake, which she could not do.
I can bake.
Chinese fighting muffin.
That was so weird.
I can bake. Some shit you used to be able to say in a movie.
They're not
You can't do
Chinese. They're
that
not
anymore.
fighting. They're blueberry.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it earlier. One of my favorite shots in the movie is the one shot when it's revealed that Sam Rockwell is the villain in the movie. But I also really like when we come back to that scene later after Dylan's been shot out the window. Because I
Right.
like the reversal of
Yeah, like
here's
the slow
how
motion and everything.
here's how Dylan managed to escape that situation.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah,
And then
I
they
think
went back, and I was like, oh, he missed.
Yeah.
That's cool. That makes sense. Because, like, people miss sometimes with guns.
Yeah.
And in movies, everyone always has really good aim, unless,
They're the villain.
they're not supposed to.
Or unless you're a stormtrooper.
Yeah, or you're a stormtrooper. But, like, point blank, most of the time, someone's not going to miss that shot. And I was like, oh, he missed. Yeah, it'd be like that
It'd
sometimes.
be like that.
It'd be like
Sometimes you miss.
Sound-wise, I really like this soundtrack.
Yo.
I mean, nothing's ever going to beat the Destiny's Child, Charlie's Angel song. Nothing ever.
No, that
No.
one's amazing.
When it pops up in the movie, and like, I actually like that scene too, because
Yeah.
it's Alex, I think it's Alex who leans over and fixes the drive-through speaker.
Yeah, that was that scene.
I like that. I love the bits and pieces of this movie that show what the women are competent and capable of doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's the point of these movies.
Yep.
Or at least it should be.
At least that's the point that I caught as a kid.
And now you're older and you're like,
And I'm older and I'm like, wow.
The point is, Lucy Liu was high.
She was so hot.
Apparently, almost
Oh my
every actor in this
God.
movie had issues with their lines, though. They apparently did not like the dialogue.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, because
Not
it's
good.
garbage.
It's bad.
I was like, oh my god,
It's
this is
bad.
porn
You don't
dialogue.
watch this movie for the
But
dialogue.
that's the thing.
Clearly.
Is like, see, stuff like that makes you wonder, like, did the movie know what it was, or were movies just bad back then?
I think they
because
were
I
just
watch it now
bad.
and I'm like, no, this movie knows what it is, because she rips off LL Cool J's face and is just wearing it, and there's no questions about how she was a large black man in a dashiki, because the movie knows what it is. So I'm like, okay, cool. The movie's just supposed to be stupid.
It's got that 70s goofiness from the
Yeah,
original
like they were going
TV
for cheesy,
series.
but then everyone's complaining about the dialogue, and it's like, so you guys
Well,
didn't know
maybe
what you were
the
making at the
actors
time.
didn't
Like you thought it
get
was gonna be
it.
serious.
Yeah.
You made a
or like
Baywatch.
or a regular action movie.
Yeah, because like you don't have Zac Efron and Dwayne Johnson complaining about the Baywatch dialogue.
No,
to my
because they
knowledge,
know what it was.
Because they're like, this is gonna be dumb. Let's do it. Let's have fun.
But also, I think that maybe that was part of it. It was like the actors were like, I'm supposed to be acting, and like everybody else that was making the movie was like, no, we're having fun,
It's
guys.
like,
That
no,
was
don't worry
actu-
about it. Just throw that muffin at the
Well,
wall.
that's actually what like the argument that Lucy Liu and Bill Murray got into, that fight.
Interesting.
Because apparently, I think they said it was a miscommunication. Bill Murray said, supposedly he said, I understand why Cameron Diaz is here. I understand why Drew Barrymore is here. I don't get why you're here.
Interesting.
And then Bill Murray says it wasn't about that. It was just like, how are you saying these lines? These lines are
It's like,
so
I get why they're doing all this goofy stuff.
But he's like,
you're
these
better than this.
these lines are so goofy and god awful. Like, how are you saying them?
Yeah.
Like, and I guess maybe that miscommunicated somehow. And yeah,
At that point, I think Lucy Liu had been in like what, Kill Bill, or this is right
I
before
think this is
Kill
before
Bill.
no,
Kill Bill.
I think this was her first ever movie,
What?
something like that. It was one of her first movies. Or
What?
something
What
like
was
That's a
she
weird
doing
thing.
before that?
I don't know why he would say it then, because like if she's not done anything, what would you expect of her?
So maybe they got in a fight because Bill Murray, or like Lucy Liu was like, so you think I shouldn't be here?
She took it as like an insult, like you
And
don't
he
think
was
I'm
like-
talented or something like that. Oh, that's
No,
not true.
it's
No.
not.
She's done some other ones too.
She's
Well, at
done-
that point, it might have
She'd been acting for about
She'd been-
movies for like 12 years.
in
Or 10 years. at
Yeah,
that point.
it was like her first like big one though, like
Yeah.
of this magnitude or something.
Well, shout
like
out to
that.
Mick G for putting her on screen for us.
Yep.
Because I loved her in Lucky Number 11, which is not relevant, but she's
Lucky
amazing in that movie.
Number 11's
I
great.
the thing is, I remember being that age and being a fan of Drew Barrymore, being a fan of Cameron Diaz, and I think I became a fan of Lucy Liu through this movie. So like, yeah,
I didn't know who she was.
I don't know any of them were because I was 8.
No, I knew. No, you knew who Cameron Diaz was because you watched The Mask. We all watched The Mask.
Yeah, we all grew up on The Mask.
I didn't watch The Mask when I was like 5. I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it later on.
Oh,
Wow.
I wasn't like, 20. And I remember when I watched The Mask again later on, I was like, oh, that's Cameron Diaz. So when I
Oh.
watched it, I didn't think that's Cameron Diaz. I just thought,
I don't think any of us did.
that dude is funny doing all
See,
the weird stuff.
What's funny is I don't think as a kid I recognized her from The Mask. Well, okay,
That
I
was
knew,
her first
I knew of her
movie.
from The Mask, but for me that's the girl from My Best Friend's Wedding because I was 5 watching My Best Friend's Wedding, and it was one of my favorites. So
Also, I always thought Cameron Diaz looks very different in The Mask.
Yeah, because it's her first movie. She hadn't figured
she's
out
a
what.
baby.
I feel like she hadn't figured out her aesthetic yet.
Her look. Anyway, favorite aspects of this film, if we haven't even gone. I feel like I already went over
We
mine.
already
Mine was
talked
like,
about that.
yeah,
I
like,
think.
Bill freaking Murray.
and mine
is
was
my
like the
favorite
characters and their competency,
Yeah.
who they are as people.
As a kid, it was definitely because it was about women that were kicking butt, and I didn't have as much as that as I wanted as a kid, or as much as I craved.
So the new one is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys expecting out of that?
I think this one's gonna be less of a parody film and more of just an action movie, straight action movie.
More of a spy movie.
Yeah, and I feel like it's gonna say a lot about. It's gonna have a lot to say about women and power and stuff.
I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I was watching Elizabeth Banks did a video with Pinterest where she was talking about what her inspirations were for this film, and obviously the original Charlie's Angels, TV series, because that's where it comes from.
Right.
But also like movies like Mission Impossible and James Bond and stuff like that. So I'm expecting to have more of a.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the women spy movie that I've wanted for a while now, which is just women in a spy film,
Yes.
and not
Fair.
yeah, not necessarily a comedy, but I'm sure it'll be funny. It looks like it's gonna be hysterical.
I'm so excited for Kristen Stewart. I love her.
So Kristen Stewart said that Elizabeth Banks wrote this role specifically for her.
Yes.
And I'm so excited because this doesn't look like anything Kristen Stewart's ever done. But I have been waiting since American Ultra for Kristen Stewart to do a full-on action film where she gets to play a spy. So I'm so excited.
I always forget about that movie. Was she a spy in that movie?
She was
Yes.
his handler. She was a CIA
Right,
agent.
right. I always forget about that.
Because she has a couple of action sequences in that movie, but we don't get to those until like the last half of the film.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
remember when it was real that she was a CIA agent, I was like, okay, now I need a movie where Kristen
You're a
Stewart
spy,
gets to be a spy for a whole movie. And now she is. I've been a fan of Naomi Scott since like 2011, 2012.
Yep.
So I'm really happy that like she's doing a lot of big stuff recently. First it was Power Rangers, and then she did Aladdin this year, and now she's got Charlie's Angels coming out.
Yep.
And then Ella Balinska, who is a newcomer to this, who is like 6 foot tall
Oh, she's
Wow.
tall.
and is apparently a ninja according to her castmates.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, Kristen Stewart's pretty tall too. She's like my height.
when you look at her next to Ella Balinska, Kristen Stewart is short. Kristen Stewart and Naomi Scott have to stand on apple boxes when they're trying to make them look close to the similar heights to Ella Balinska. I saw the behind the scenes of their promo shoot. Like,
Goodness gracious.
she's tall. I'm excited to see what Elizabeth Banks does with this film. I haven't decided how much I like Elizabeth Banks as a writer and a director. She did Pitch Perfect 2, and I liked Pitch Perfect 2.
She also produced the first Pitch Perfect.
I mean, she produced all the Pitch Perfects.
Oh, yes.
How many
Yeah.
are there?
3. Unfortunately.
Goodness. Okay.
Pitch Perfect was a perfect movie.
Pitch Perfect was a perfect movie. Yeah, but Elizabeth Banks is great. I'm excited to see this expanded universe that they've created for Charlie's Angels. It's not just, here's this one agency. No, we've expanded into a global organization. Like, we've got multiple Bosleys.
And multiple groups of angels.
Dallas, we've got black people in this movie.
Wait, who?
Ella
One of
Balinska, one of the
the-
angels,
Oh, nice.
is black. Jaimin Hunsu is one of the Bosleys.
Jamin is in this movie. I like him.
He's great. He shows up in everything. I
Sir
love him.
Patrick Stewart is one of the Bosleys.
Oh, I thought he was Charlie. But
You
I guess
will
not.
never see Charlie's
see
face.
Oh, okay.
Why would we do that?
I don't know.
A lot
I
of people
they were
thought he
messing
was.
with that.
A lot of people thought he was Charlie. He's not. He
He
is.
looks
a
like he'd be
Bosley.
Charlie.
He's a Bosley.
He sounds
Got
like
it.
he'd be Charlie. It's funny,
Yeah.
we were watching some movie recently, and then Djimon Hounsou was in 2 of the trailers I played before the movie. It's like, yo, that dude is busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
I
He's
love
always
it so
busy.
much. Get your money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this movie is technically related to the one we just watched, right?
Yeah.
It is.
It's in the same
It is within
franchise?
the same universe, which you can tell if you watch the trailer. There's the scene of them in the closet, and there are shots of previous Charlie's Angels outfits in the trailer. The Dutch girl outfit is in the trailer. The race car outfit is in the trailer. So it's pretty cool. I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that they weren't just like, we're just going to remake Charlie's Angels. It's like, no, we're going to continue this universe and expand upon it.
Important question.
Yes.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes.
Is the outfit that Lucy Liu wears in that office building
Oh
in
my
the
god,
trailer?
I hope so.
I don't think so, but if you want to go look, you can.
I'll just ask you guys after you see it.
I'm just expecting this movie to be a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be the most amazing thing ever. I just want it to be solid. Elizabeth Banks has said that this is a movie that she wanted it to be about women at work and them being competent and capable. So, this sounds like the Charlie's Angels movie that I want.
And it's like directed by a woman, so we won't have the same.
Me and Gabby won't be sitting through the movie like, oh my gosh.
Guess I'm not seeing it. Just kidding, kind of.
I mean, I feel like
Is
there's
there
still gonna
any-
be moments of like, ooh, she's pretty, she's fine, but like, there's not gonna be.
I mean,
like,
Kristen
let's
Stewart
put the
spanks
camera
herself with a
straight.
crop.
Yeah,
Sure.
there's not gonna be a scene where it's just like, let's take this camera and put it down her shirt. Like, there isn't gonna be.
But more importantly, is Bill Murray in it?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to watch it.
Drew Barrymore is back as the producer, though, because she owns the rights to Charlie's Angels.
That makes sense. Get your
Make
money,
that
Drew.
money.
So it's nice to know that one of the angels is on board for this film.
And like
Ooh,
the
it'd be nice if
Charlie's
we got-
Angels movies had like the original Angels from the TV show like cameo.
It would be cool
They
if we
like,
had...
Demi Moore and
Yeah,
stuff.
in the second.
and I think one of the women.
No,
from
not in the first one.
No? Okay,
I think they tried for the first one and they
Ah.
couldn't get it. But yeah, it would be cool if we could get like a cameo from Drew, Lucy, or Cameron.
I hope
in this
so.
new
I wouldn't
one.
be surprised.
We'll see. I mean, especially since Drew's involved. So
They did it
I don't
with
know how much
Ghostbusters
Drew's
in a weird
involved
way.
though. She's just a producer.
I mean,
Producer
not
doesn't necessarily mean
just
that
a
you.
producer.
Producer doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything on the film. It just means.
There's a wide range of
Yeah,
what you can
that's-
do and be
okay,
called a
fair.
producer.
Yeah.
But I feel like if she's already involved,
You can just be like,
you
here,
might
I
as
gave
well, like-
money. Now I'm a
Mhm.
producer, and that's it.
That's true.
I
But,
gave
like-
you the rights to this film. I'm automatically a producer.
Or you adapted my loved Nickelodeon show and turned it into a terrible live action movie. But technically, my name is still on it as a producer because I made the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's how producing works. There's a
Yeah.
wide range that you can do and be involved
Yeah.
in.
got it.
From not doing anything at all to actually being involved.
Got it.
All right.
I'm super excited about this next movie. Oh,
I am too.
I'm hyped.
Charlie's Angels.
I've been
like
hyped.
women kicking ass.
Well, I've been hyped for remember when we did
You
most
have been.
anticipated last year? It was on my honorary list. So
Oh, nice.
I'm so excited. Let's do this.
I just like competent women doing cool things.
And it's got some of my favorite actors in it. I've been a fan of Kristen Stewart since Catch That Kid.
I have since like Panic Room, so about the same time.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
So is that where you're going to stop it? Thanks for tuning in.
Do you have anything else to say?
I thought you were going to keep talking a little bit. I don't
No,
know.
it's
No.
your turn. You're up.
Fine. Let us know what you think about Charlie's Angels, the old ones, in the comments. Let us know if you're excited for the new one, which comes out today in theaters near you
Woo!
and far from you, everywhere. It's wide release.
You'll hear about our thoughts on that pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. We're going to try to get Colin to see it. We'll see what happens.
I hope so. I want him to see it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. As always, thank you to me for editing and doing all the fun post-production stuff. Hopefully it's fun for you. Thank you to Crown Digital, Brandon and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at y'all_different. You can find us on Facebook, Creative Differences. You can find us on Tumblr, Creative Differences Podcast. You can find me if I'm your favorite, or if I'm not, you just find me. Twitter and Instagram, a king named Simba.
And you can find me, Gabby, on Instagram at Stegosoria.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thank you guys for joining us once again.
And you can find Colin at Charlie's Little Angel on Twitter.
Aww.
Nicely done.
Thank you. All right, y'all, it's been different.
Good morning, angels.